Michael Myers was born on October 19, 1957, to Peter and Edith Myers. Michael was born into a largely normal American family with no history of violence. Michael was the second youngest of the family, as his sister Judith was the eldest sister and Cynthia was the youngest. On October 31st, 1963, Michael did the unthinkable and murdered his older sister Judith with a large butcher knife, stabbing her numerous times. After Michael finished his atrocity, he silently walked out of his home to meet his parents, who arrived too late to stop him. Shortly after his trial, Michael was sent to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where he would remain for over a decade. Sadly for Edith and Peter Myers, on January 3, 1965, they were both tragically killed in a car crash. Cynthia Myers was the last surviving member of Michael's immediate family and was put up for foster care, with her records to be sealed to protect her from the family history. Meanwhile, back at Smith Grove Sanitarium, Michael has now become a silent shell of a human, having not spoken a word for years. The psychologist assigned to Michael Myers, Dr. Loomis, attempted for years to get through to Michael, but he came to the realization that Michael was not what he seemed. For Myers looked like a child, Loomis became convinced that Michael was pure evil. Loomis did everything in his power to keep him locked away, as he realized what was behind the boy's face was purely and simply evil. On October 30th, 1978, Dr. Loomis's worst fear came true as Michael escaped just before Loomis arrived to transfer him to a federal prison for a hearing. Michael managed to make it all the way back to his hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois on the morning of Halloween. For reasons unknown, Myers returned to his former home, which was now dilapidated. While Michael was inside of his house, Laurie Strode had the unfortunate luck of being seen by Myers after she dropped off a key at the house, which was up for sale as her father was in the process of selling it. Michael laid his eyes on Laurie, and she became his new target. On that Halloween night, Michael killed a number of Laurie's friends while she was babysitting and nearly killed Laurie. Michael did not stop until Dr. Loomis found him and put 6 bullets in him. Michael somehow got up and walked away and disappeared into the night as Laurie was taken to the hospital. As Laurie was being treated for her injuries, Dr. Loomis went back out into the night with the sheriff to try to track down Michael Myers. However, Laurie's night got even longer as Michael followed her to the hospital and proceeded to leave a trail of destruction in his wake. Michael killed nurses, doctors, EMTs, and the only security guard on duty. But again, she was saved at the last minute by Loomis after he returned to the hospital shortly after learning a shocking secret about Myers and Laurie. Either by Michael Myers' design or coincidence, Laurie is in fact Michael's baby sister. After the deaths of Edith and Peter, Cynthia was adopted by the Strode family and named Laurie, and did protect her from the family history. After saving Laurie, Loomis blew up a room filled with gas, which he and Michael were inside of, nearly killing them both. Loomis walked away with massive facial scars, and Myers went into a coma, of which he did not wake up for 10 years. On October 30th, 1988, a disfigured Michael awoke from being transferred back to Smith's Grove from federal prison. He was awoken after overhearing the doctors talk about his niece, who happens to live in his hometown, and he proceeded to kill the doctors. Michael's list of victims grew on his way back to Haddonfield, including a mechanic and a waitress. After learning of Michael's escape, Loomis is back on the hunt. even though he warned transferring Myers was still a bad idea. Back in Haddonfield, it turns out that Lori has died, also a victim of a car crash just like her parents, and her daughter Jamie was adopted by the Crothers. Jamie knows who her uncle is and has been having nightmares about her uncle. Still, on Halloween, Jamie and her adoptive sister, Rachel, go out trick-or-treating completely unaware that Michael has arrived in Haddonfield for another bloody night of carnage. On this night, Michael takes his rampage further than before as he kills a truck full of heavy-set locals carrying rifles, the electric company, more teenagers, and even takes out the local police force. After surviving a barrage of attacks and a crazy truck ride, Rachel and Jamie manage to run over Michael just as the police arrive to help. Rachel tells Jamie to stay in the car, and Rachel runs to the police. Jamie slips away and touches Michael's hand in what could be considered an act of forgiveness for Michael. However, Michael rises and the police shoot him down as he falls into a mine shaft, seemingly dead. Rachel and Jamie return to their house hoping to put the night behind them, but then, from out of nowhere, Jamie stabs her stepmother in the same fashion as her uncle did, shocking everyone, including Dr. Loomis, who screams, "No!" 1 year later, it is revealed that Myers survived the fall and was in a coma, nursed to by a hermit. On October 30th, 1989, Myers awakens and he somehow shares a vision with Jamie as she witnesses murder the poor hermit. It turns out the touch between Jamie and Michael created some sort of psychic connection, which caused Jamie to stab her stepmother and for Jamie to lose her ability to speak. After the stabbing of her stepmother, Jamie was put in an institution. Jamie is not safe though, as Myers has the psychic connection to her, thus he makes his way to her again. Haddonfield is cloaked by death, and Michael shows no signs of slowing down. Unfortunately for Jamie, her stepsister Rachel is one of the many victims that Michael kills that Halloween. After Loomis learns of the connection that Jamie has, he attempts to use her as bait to finally defeat Michael. And the plan nearly works, as Loomis manages to capture Myers. But this win didn't even last the night. A figure in black has been lurking around in the background, seemingly looking to help Myers. A significant clue was revealed as the figure and Myers both bore the same tattoos on their wrists. After Myers was beaten and tranquilized by Loomis, he was taken to the Haddonfield jail, but was broken free by the shadowy figure after gunning down the new police force. Myers, the figure, and Jamie would all remain missing until 1995. After years of peace since banning Halloween in Haddonfield, Michael once again creates havoc on October 31st, 1995. During the night on October 30th, Jamie escapes from a mysterious cult after having given birth. She and the baby make it to a bus station. It calls a radio DJ after having failed to contact the police to warn Loomis that Myers is back. Heartbreakingly for Jamie, she is killed by Myers after she escapes him at the bus station. However, she manages to hide the baby back at the station. The baby happens to be found by Tommy Doyle, who heard the radio program which Jamie called. Tommy is the boy Lori babysat the night the Myers first came home. Since that night on 1978, Tommy has become obsessed with Michael Myers and solving where his power comes from. Loomis does, in fact, hear Jamie over the radio, and once again, he gets ready for the cat and mouse game with Myers. But this time, he has his longtime friend and colleague, Dr. Wynn, joining him, providing him with any help that he can. Michael once again returned to his childhood home, but finds the Strode family now living in it. The brother of Laurie Strode's stepfather now owns the house, but hasn't been able to sell it and has been having trouble with his real estate business in general. Hence, he moved his family into the Myers house. One by one, Myers kills the Strode family, except for Kara and her son Danny, who managed to escape to Tommy. At this point, Tommy acts as a protector for Kara, Danny, and the baby, now named Steven. Tommy reveals to Kara he has a theory on where Myers' power comes from. He believes Michael is being cursed by a druid cult known as Thorn, which gave him great power and immortality. The curse of Thorn was associated with a constellation that appeared every Halloween when Michael's returned. Every time Thorn was seen, Michael was seen. The cult put the curse of Thorn on Michael, which made him kill his entire family down to the very last of kin. According to the legend, the curse of Thorn is meant to save mankind from disease, drought, and disaster. The sacrifice of one family meant saving the rest of the tribe from catastrophe. In this case, the tribe is Haddonfield, as many of the townspeople are in on it. Once the family is killed, the curse is passed on to another family. Baby Steven was meant to be the last of Myers' kin, and Danny was meant to be the next in line for the curse of Thorn. After explaining his theory to Kara, Tommy goes to find Loomis. Things come to a climax when it is revealed to Loomis that his friend, Dr. Wynn, is actually the head of Thorn and has been ahead of Loomis from the start since Michael was taken to Smith's Grove in 1963. Whether or not Myers' parents were aware of the curse is unknown. Kara, Danny, and Steven get taken from Loomis and Tommy as they were drugged by Wynn and his followers. They attempt to save Kara and the kids from Smith's Grove. Before the duo go in, Tommy tells Loomis he may have a way to stop Michael. Loomis confronts Wynn, but is knocked out from behind, when at the same time, Tommy sneaks into the Thorn ceremony, where baby Steven is to be sacrificed by Michael, and the curse is to be transferred to Danny. Tommy, Kara, Danny, and Steven run from Michael after Tommy takes Wynn hostage in exchange for the family. As Michael closes in on them, Loomis reawakens to get Kara and the children out, but Tommy stays behind and stops Michael by using the ruins of light to cancel out the curse and seemingly stop Myers in his tracks. Tommy, Kara, and the kids leave as Loomis stays behind to finish his business with Michael. Dr. Wynn approaches a still Myers, asking him, "What have they done to you?" Myers grips his fist as the screen fades to black. When Loomis returns and sees Myers laying on the ground, he tells him, "It's all over, Michael. It's all over." Loomis unmasks him, only to find Wynn underneath telling Loomis it's his game now, presumably meaning Loomis is now Myers' protector. Loomis screams aloud as a thorn mark appears on his wrist, while Michael Myers is seen walking off into the night, unmasked. Hey guys, I just wanted to say, this brings to an end my second video in a series of retrospectives. because I'm only focusing on the Michael Myers, the original Michael Myers story arc, up to the end of the Thorn trilogy. For me, this is the true end of the official Halloween timeline, because they gave us the series a reboot with Halloween H2O. H2O ignored parts 4 through 6, and they made a lot of retcons to effectively wipe it out. Hence, I'm ending this video with a producer's cut of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, which many fans agree is better than the theatrical cut. I would have liked to have seen what happened next, but we will likely never get a continuation of the story except for perhaps a graphic novel. Hey guys, I appreciate everyone who watches my videos, and I'm looking forward to bringing you guys more. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks guys, catch you later.